Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here. So it's Wednesday today, and that means the final part of the World of Battlefield 2042 story has been released. It also means that tomorrow we're going to be getting a short film called Exodus. Now from what I've heard, this thing is 9 minutes long, but I expect it to be more about telling the story of Battlefield 2042 rather than about gameplay. In any case, just like the previous parts of the story, the final 3 have revealed a few things about the maps in 2042, the weaponry, and even the vehicles. So let's go over all the details. Alrighty, so first up we have Monday's story, which was set on the map Orbital, and basically the NOPATs are tasked with ferrying a bunch of containers seemingly filled with pineapples to this location for the Russians. Now, as you probably know, in the world of 2042, there was a blackout that knocked all of the satellites out of space, and due to rising sea levels, this spaceport located in French Guiana is the only means of getting new spy satellites up into outer space so that the Americans can spy on the Russians. The Russians disapprove, and that's why the Americans and the Russians are going at it. So we got a nice new screenshot of Orbital here. After the Levolution event, the shuttle has exploded on a launch pad, it looks like, and everything is just a total mess. I'm not sure if there are different ways in which this Levolution event can play out, similar to the tornado, like maybe sometimes it explodes, sometimes it doesn't, I don't really recall, but either way, it looks pretty intense. Also, on the side of the map, I reckon this here is the entrance to the underground tunnel that Daniel Berlin was talking about during the Battlefield briefing. I could be wrong, but that really looks like it could be a tunnel coming up out of the ground there. And according to him, that tunnel leads all the way to the other side of the map. Now, remember those pineapples the NOPATs were smuggling for the Russians? Yeah, well, you guessed it. They weren't pineapples. According to the story, they were full of Volcov Multi-Munition launchers, which they call the Swiss Army knife of Russian rocket launchers. So possibly a new launcher of some sort there that we could see in the game. It being called the Swiss Army knife of Russian rocket launchers kind of spells out that it's good in any situation, or it can be used effectively for anything, so let's just hope that it isn't too good. Okay, moving on to the next story. This one is set on the map Breakaway in Antarctica. So the backstory of this map is that the Russians have illegally turned a research center into an oil mining facility, and they're trying to impose a monopoly on all of the oil of the world, and they're refusing to sell it to the NOPATs unless they swear fealty or allegiance to the Russians and side with them against the US. So have a look at this screenshot. We haven't seen this side of the map yet at all. All we've really seen up to now is penguins and ice. But this area of the map is called the Cheftaya Neft Oil Facility, and as you can see, there's a drilling rig offshore with a bridge connecting it. I'm already imagining flying my F-35 under that bridge. Then you've got the rest of the oil facility on land. I don't know about you, but it kind of gives me Operation Firestorm vibes. And then further north, you can see an enormous glacier with a huge crevasse running through it. So I wonder if you can do jumps over that on snow sleds and things of that nature. All in all, it looks pretty cool though. Okay, so going back to the story, the protagonist, Caven, basically flees the orbital launch site and he gets a ride to Antarctica. He then ends up stranded there, and the Russians just refuse to give him fuel. And while he's there, he meets a new specialist on another boat who also happens to be stranded, and this guy is called Konstantin Angel. And unfortunately, that's all we get to know about him. No clue as to what sort of a specialist he'll be, or even his origin, just his name. Now, while this is going on, the NOPATs arrive aboard an American Arleigh Burke class destroyer called the MFS-04 Exodus to save their stranded brothers and sisters and get them off of the island. So again, more hinting at possible naval warfare in the future. And then there's talk of these starbursts being fired from the shore, and I just thought, what the hell is a starburst when I read that? Well, after a little googling, it turns out that apparently it is a British man-portable surface-to-air missile. It sort of looks like a javelin, so maybe that's going to be its replacement in Battlefield 2042, or something similar to it. Finally, in the last part of the story, the NOPATs are sailing towards Sierra Leone, where they're planning to make their way over to Egypt, the site of the Renewal map. And once again, we got some more info on what this location is and what it looks like. Basically, it's a gigantic state-of-the-art farm with a special irrigation system and GMO-grown crops. And as you can see, there is this gigantic wall separating the farm from the outside of the world. Now, this farm is run by a company called Sinesco, and from these shots, there's also some sort of indoorsy office areas to fight over here as well, so it's not just all going to be outdoors. And in this one, there's even a helipad outside, so aircraft confirmed. This looks like some sort of a staging area where all the workers change out of their irrigation outfits, but at the same time, it all looks very military. There's even a tank there on the left side of the shot. So interesting little tidbits here and there. Again, I'm not sure how many of these things are actually going to make it into the game. As you'll notice from some of these shots, they're basically drawn. These are not in-engine renders and proper screenshots of the map. So I don't know if they're staying true to the maps and everything that's in the game, or if some of these things are, you know, prior to 2042 and they may not necessarily be there. So take it with a pinch of salt, but I thought this was interesting nonetheless. Hopefully, we're going to see even more tomorrow with the Exodus film. As always, leave me your thoughts down below, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.